Yes, we are actually live this time.
Sweet. How you doing,
Well,
my friend?
Like, I want to hear from Pixie or somebody before I say that.
Well, David's here. He was just in my stream.
Dave, do you see us?
I just got your announcement that you're live, Dave.
Good. Then we're here. I'm
Yeah,
well, Larry.
good. How was your birthday?
It was lovely. I mean, certainly my party was here. I
Yeah,
didn't
I
do,
know it
you know,
was.
I didn't
I
do
thought
too
that was
much else.
great. I thought it was great.
I had a blast.
Yeah.
I cleaned
There's
up the
there's
cupcake frosting the next day.
That's right. You got frosting all over the place. There's Pixie Knickers right there.
Awesome. Carlos, David Williams, how you guys?
Hey, Carlos, thank you for
Sandy,
the
Pixie.
support on the shorts. Yeah.
So now we get to do it again for real. Last time was a rehearsal.
Yes.
I tell you, we wasted a lot of time figuring out that you can't play guitar. We can't play guitar right now with each other.
No, we cannot.
Which is frustrating.
It is.
We can't even play guitar on our own.
Well,
It muffles that,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I don't mean we can't play. I'm just saying
the challenge is the sound. It's not our playability. It's the sound, the tones that are coming through. Right.
I'll show you guys one time quickly.
Yeah.
In a tunnel, I'm guessing. Yours was better than it was the time before, Larry.
That's interesting.
I mean, coming through.
It is, but it's got that phasing thing and it's metallic sounding a little bit.
It's so odd. But moving on from that. So I've been listening to your channel, and last week we talked a little about that one amp. You actually designed an amp with Victoria amps, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
First of all, that blows my mind. I had a Victoria. I was thinking back, and I had a Victoria Bassman. No, Bandmaster.
You had the Bandmaster?
Yeah, 310.
Oh, great amp.
Yeah, it was. It was good. I traded it eventually on, I think another super reverb. Like I needed more than one.
Did you ever check out a Victoria 210 Super? So it's like the Bandmaster.
Oh yeah,
but it's in a super configuration.
I wish. That to me, that's the perfect amp. I think those are the perfect amps. That 210 Tweed Super. It was. Now I think this Lion that I use is the perfect amp.
Right.
But yeah, no, 210s, that, and I always want, to me, back when I was playing heavy tube amps, I would always, think the deluxe reverb's perfect, except I need half again the volume,
I mean, I always liked I like Princeton reverbs over deluxe.
Yeah. I never owned one because I'm an idiot.
No, I never owned one either. I owned a deluxe reverb in the 70s, a silver face.
Exactly. Perfect. But so tell us about that one that you designed again.
Well, so so the knowing that Victoria made a 210 Super, I was just like, hey, we can do my amp in a 210 as well. And because when it came down to the speaker decision, Victoria asked me, like, do you want to roll with a 112 or do you want a 210 configuration? And I said, oh, let's do the 210s over the 112 because you get 20 inches of speaker over 12 inches of speaker. And I said,
the guitar is just perfect.
And I said, it'll be much tighter and it won't fart out the way a 112 does. And that was my concern.
Yeah, no, I think 210s, really the 210 supersize it, that, it's like 35 watts, right?
Yes, yeah, the
It's
210
perfect.
Super was.
Yeah.
It's the same brain that's in the
Right.
Bandmaster. It's
Right.
just in a different speaker
No.
configuration.
Yeah, I think that is perfect. And the Bandmaster, you know, it sounds good on paper, but it's heavier. Everything,
I knew you were going to say I got rid of it because it was too big.
Yeah. No, but it was a great sounding amp. It was a good amp. It was beautifully made. So
Yeah.
you did that because you had an online store,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So tell me about that. I never heard that story.
Um. Okay. So, what like when I designed, like, came up with the amp at the same time I came up with the business idea. They happened simultaneously.
Oh,
I couldn't launch one without the other. I knew I needed something to draw people to my store because it was back in 2000 and it was just like the internet was just sort of like taking off.
oh yeah, no, I remember well. That
And
was that
then
was my that was my 2000. I think everybody remembers their New Year's Eve 2000 gig, right?
yeah, totally. Exactly. Y2K.
Absolutely.
Did you get yourself protection? No.
It was that was
I'm like, look, we're either gonna wake up tomorrow and the shit's gonna power on, or it's not.
that was the
Pardon my
best.
French.
It was the best paying gig ever. Ever. I think everybody we drove to Dallas and played a country club. And it was like a big band, and we all made like $800. It was great.
Yeah, that's a good payday.
Oh, it was good, especially back then, 2000. But so that's when you were launching it, right after that sort of time.
Yeah, I launched in Soul Cactus Sound launched in June of 2000, and then the amp came, like, I got the first prototype shortly after that, and I just reviewed it, made some notes, called Victoria, and I said, "This is what needs to happen." It was a change in speakers. He wanted to use a certain brand of speaker, and I said no. I said it's got to be this, and he's like, "Why?" And I said, "Because your speaker does this and this, and I don't like it."
What kind of speakers do you like?
I We put Jensen P10Rs, and when I explained to him why, he said, "You know what? You're right." And I said, "Dude, it's not about being right. It's about having a superior tone."
So what was your thing on it? Because yeah. So wait, P10R, that's um, not the Alnico, right? Ceramic.
Yeah, that's the El Nico
Okay,
magnet.
the Alnico. So the little square. So
Yeah.
like, I thought they were great, and then one day I started I plugged into some Celestian, you know, Alnico speakers, and that's I love the way they sound, and I sort
Oh
of went.
yeah, for
And
sure.
but what was the thing with your amp? What was the thing with that made those really work?
Well, they didn't like the speakers that he wanted to put in were Eminence, and the Eminence killed the
Ah, yeah.
highs in the
Okay.
amp. And I was just like,
Yeah.
"No, we
Were they
can't have this."
ceramics?
And yeah,
Oh.
yeah, they were
Oh, well, that's
ceramics,
just never.
and
There's way too much.
and it's, ceramic speaker, like, if you're talking about like a Tweed Deluxe, all right, or a Tweed Champ, the ceramic version of those speakers are perfectly fine. They're perfectly capable. They sound just, it's that to me is a splitting hair. If
I'm.
you're talking
Yeah.
about the difference between a P12N and your Tweed Deluxe versus a C12N,
Oh, yeah.
oh,
No.
come
Yeah. Yeah.
on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Absolutely. I'm with you. Either of those is great. I'll take either.
but when you hear it the way that I was hearing it,
Yeah.
um, it made a lot of difference, and I was just like, "Wow, do they really kill the highs?"
That. Yeah.
And so that's why we went with the Jensens. But he had the issue was, I think the Jensens were a little harder to get
Oh, right.
because they weren't like we had to go through. They were made in Italy,
Oh
so
God.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that was the
No, I remember
challenge.
that actually. Yeah, like I think
Yeah, the
somewhere around.
reissues.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I do
that's
remember that.
that's that's what he didn't want to deal with. That's what made it challenging, and I said no, it's got to be this way. And he agreed with me in the end. But when he did his version of it, he used the Eminence speakers.
So,
So
real, that's fun.
if you and that's funny because all the other dealers at that time, they got his version of my signature amp, but if you wanted my amp specifically with my speakers and my green Tolex and the wheat grill cloth and the Soul Cactus character on it, you had to come to me.
Right.
I had the cooler version.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had the better sounding version. I'm sorry, Victoria, but you know it as well as I do.
So, so you had that amp designed, and you had your online store and stuff. Um,
Yeah, and
and was that like, was that what you dreamed it would be?
um for the most part,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I mean like for most mornings I would wake up and I thought like, you know what? This is really cool. I may not be a rock star, but I'm like, I'm going to meet Warren Haynes later today and talk to him and try and facilitate an amplifier return to one of my vendors. So now I'm working with Warren Haynes about an amplifier.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So,
I'm not just the concert goer or the guy performing on the stage. Now I'm the guy behind the stage
I
dealing
get
with
it.
the rock
Yeah.
stars. So it's
So,
a
so,
different trip.
but like, let me ask you this then. So, like, you know, how does it feel now? Do you now doing what you're doing on, YouTube and YouTube live stuff? Do you feel more like a rock star?
Now I do, but when I was trying to do it, right, like you, I wasn't. I felt like lower than I
Yeah.
was just like,
I tell you what, I
uh,
mean, I played to so many empty bars for so many years.
I know it. It's
Like,
painful.
it wasn't painful. I was enjoying the heck out of it, but I was like, you know, yeah, in a month, I played to as many people now as I played to in, a few years back then. It's crazy and so much fun.
Well, yeah,
What's
I
your
mean,
feeling on that?
I miss playing in a band
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
having like a halfway decent live reaction is great. Like there's no better feeling in the world,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but to have it's hard to have that all the time because you can't have it all the time. It like if we did it now, it'd be on a schedule. It'd be like who's available when and when can we get the gig? Okay,
Well,
so
I've been thinking about that.
we can book it for 2 months, 2.5 months from now out. So that gives us time to get together and rehearse what a handful of times and get it
Um,
together.
Larry, I've been thinking about that, and I'm like, if I could guarantee, you know, money, not a lot, I could do a 3-piece live thing every single day, and I do
Right.
sort of think about doing that. It would be so much fun, but it's like
Absolutely.
can't really guarantee. Yes.
No, but
It's
if we the thing is like I
yeah,
don't know where we like we are obviously well we're using this as a springboard, right, for whatever the future holds. It could be like, hey, I've seen what you do. I want to take what you do and put you out on the road, like book you in, small to medium sized clubs and tour you around. And like, if the money is there, the package or whatever the presentation is from whoever, I will happily sign it if the
yeah,
money and the whole situation's right, and I can control what I play because of my hands. Just like with you, with your ailment,
yeah,
I have to be able to say like, I'll play, and I'll play like an hour and a half to, you know, an hour and 45 minutes, let's just say. And then I'll have a break in between the two sets. And
I
that's the
would.
way I would do it.
So that's what you would. That's what you would really like. Maybe
Yeah, if I
parlay.
went out and did yeah, if I went out and put a show together right now, I'd be like, I'll give you 2 hours. It'll be from like 8 to 10 or 7 to 9, however you want to work it. I'll play one set for like 50, 55 minutes, and I'll play the second set for about the same amount of time.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'll take a little bit of a break in between to rest my hands.
yeah. No,
That's the way I would do it.
yeah. No, I mean, I can't say I. I for me that I'm really enjoying this. This is kind of like, no, I'm good doing this. I love playing guitar, and I just love sitting there and playing guitar. What I would love more is to have, an upright bass and a snare drum. You know?
Sure.
But I still, actually, I think I would probably just be sitting here playing it. I mean, I can't. It's harder for me. I really can't tour or do any of that sort of stuff. It's not feasible.
Yeah,
So
but
this is kind of
okay,
this is amazing. You know what I mean?
it's it's not feasible until I decide to get off my ass and come through town and then drag you out.
It's just I'm so uncomfortable with it. Like I have to be close to my my care team. It's like it's none of that's gonna happen. This is and I just but it's weird, right? That's what I'm saying. Or what I'm trying to say from this is it seems like all of us have these different routes here from this YouTube live, and it really allows you to do whatever
Correct. Yeah.
whatever that thing you want to happen. It's an incredible medium. I mean, it's amazing. I, I mean, how many people watch you in a month?
Forgetting a month. I just go in a day. I'm like, I played to, anywhere from 2,000 to 5,000 people in a
I mean,
day.
that's
Like that's
nuts.
ridiculous. That's ridiculous to me. I
I,
could I couldn't go out right now and fill 250 seat place, let alone a 3,000 seat place. No way, no how.
I
I'm
mean,
nobody.
I used to, yeah, I used to play to nobody a lot. I told you before,
Yeah.
there was a cockroach warning backwards and forwards in front of us when we were playing for like 30 minutes straight. He'd go over there under that table, and then he'd walk over that table, and we're just watching him make his, and
His
then
rounds.
finally the waitress steps on him, and we're like, oh, come on. Now there's only three of you left. There's only three people, three audience. Because that was it. Other than that, it was like a bartender, two waitresses, and nobody in the place except for our little one cockroach walking around. So
I,
yeah,
I I have a gig like that. The worst thing for me is I actually have it documented on video. So I can rewatch it anytime I please
oh no
to
no
see
no
that
no no
travesty of that train wreck
no 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 no.
over and over and over
Oh
again.
no no no. Yeah, no, that's. I tell you, I tell you, I got a good me being an idiot story, or bad gig. So I played with this band. It was called Josh Davis and English Dave. That was me back then, not Josh
Yeah.
Davis. I was English Dave, not Josh Davis. But so I was playing with this band, and we got a gig, and it was at a TV station in Waco, and they
Really?
filmed it, and then they cut it down, and they sent it out on Armed Forces radio and stuff like that, or Armed Forces TV, and maybe also if you did good. So we all got there, and we did everything, and the other guitarist kind of screwed up his thing, and then
Hmm.
but my bit was like, no, this is going to be fine. There's no way I can screw up this song. And so I walked up there and started singing the wrong song. And then I said, oops, damn it. So
Is it is that
we didn't even make any part of the show.
is that better than saying like, you're in one place like, hey, I'm performing in Tucson, Arizona one night, and I say, hello, Flagstaff. Lair, You're not in Flagstaff, bud. We're in Tucson. Oh, hello, hello, Tucson. Sorry. Do you think that's any worse than that? I think
No.
that's actually worse than playing the wrong tune.
Okay, so bad gigs. I was playing with that guy. He could book some interesting gigs. He books us in Fort Worth at this club, and it was a biker bar.
Mm,
Man, we played biker bars a lot, but we always played for this one particular at this one. They were all one particular biker gang's bars. Those bikers loved us, and they put stickers all over our amps and stuff. And, it was great. We played at their clubhouse. So,
nice.
but then my buddy booked us a gig at a country bar. We were not a country band.
Right.
Yeah, and we only knew one country song. It was Silver Wings. We played it 4 times. But anyway, we
Wow.
show up at this place, and we realize as we've pretty much done setting up, everybody's staring us angrily, and this is the only time I ever played behind chicken wire.
I was just about to ask you, did you play behind
Only
chicken wire?
time, only once, this right here, and they
Wow.
never threw anything, but
Oh, thank God.
yeah, but still, it's like, uh,
What kind of
it was a
what?
joke going in. We're like, this is funny. How we didn't, but then we realized we were like in the wrong place with the wrong stickers on our stuff. And there was not any clapping. There was nothing. It was just angry bikers looking at us. And we tried to play songs that they might like, and we took a set break and we
Mhm.
threw we didn't even put our guitars in the cases. We threw everything in the van and hauled ass.
Wow.
That was a bad gig.
I you know I I played one gig that was really awful, and I think payment at the end of the night was like $40, and I'll tell you what I did for $40. I played right next door, literally like a foot away. It was the women's door bathroom. The women's bathroom was a foot away from where I was playing because there was no stage. Your stage was the actual floor of the establishment. And all the patrons in there were all wearing, like, they all had guns, knives on their hips or whatever. And while we were playing, and there was no chicken wire, okay? If somebody wanted to hit us with something or just hit us,
They
they could.
could.
Yes. There was a fight that broke out while we were playing one of our sets.
Okay,
Yeah.
I had.
I mean, that was like a rough place, and I was just like, "F this.
Okay,
I'm not getting paid enough for this." That's when I was like, "Whoa,
I
I
was
got to
play,
rethink this."
I was playing this gig, and I'd hired this harp player. First time I'd hired him, I was pretty intimidated by him. He was a good harp player, and
Yeah,
we started playing, and it was an early show, and on 6th Street, and as we're playing, some guy comes in on the street and grabs our tip jar and starts trying to get to the door. The
yeah.
harp player leaps off the stage, tackles him before the guy gets to the door. We're playing, we're playing. And it just starts wailing on this guy, you know,
For what reason?
and because the guy stole our tip jar, which
Oh,
had $3 in it. Okay. So finally the bouncers pull him off, and they pretty much just kick him out. And he comes back on the stage, and we hadn't stopped playing at all. And we were just like,
yeah. You guys were
what's
probably
happening?
thunderstruck. What just happened?
And he gets up and keeps playing.
Wow, like nothing happened. No big deal.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
That's a professional for you. You're like, that's some kind of professional. I don't know what kind, but yeah.
Yeah, I was too. That's the first time I ever hired this guy.
And was it? Let me ask you a question. Was it the last?
No, no, heck no. He was a great harp player. No, no, heck no. um, ugh. Now
Could he play rhythm at all? No. Could the harp player play any kind of rhythm at all?
Oh yeah,
Because
he was
I tried to do it.
he was like little Walter. It was just great. I mean,
Oh,
he was
okay.
incredible. It was wonderful.
I tried to do a gig with a harp player one time back in Virginia, and it was like his show, you know.
Yeah.
And so we start rehearsing at his place, and we go like 2 or 3 songs into it, and he's playing like lead all the time. And finally, I just get, because I'm singing and I'm playing and I'm doing all of it, and I stop and I'm like, "Hey, man, are you going to be doing this the whole time we're playing together? Because if you are, that's kind of problematic for me." He goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "I'm going to tell you exactly what I mean. You cannot sit there." I said, "I understand that this is your gig." I said, "But you cannot sit there and expect the entire band to put up with you playing lead on every tune just throughout the entire night, because that shit's not going to fly. Excuse my French." I'm like, "That is not going to fly at all." And we got one other guy in the room, and the other guy in the room said something similar to what I said the week before, and that was the end of that.
Wow. Yeah, I played with a harp. I really enjoy playing with a harp, or harp, upright bass. Oh man, snare drum, or drummer brushes.
You like the Stray Cats kind of thing,
Yeah, more.
but not
More
as
like 50s,
not as rockabilly.
just 50s blues sort of stuff, but played on like kind of softly, I guess.
You like the Elvis approach.
I like old man volume.
That's why I use a 5-watt amp,
I
so
used
I
to
can
play
have
a
old man volume.
super reverb on 8 or 9. Excuse me. Oh, no, actually, no. Super reverb didn't sound good on 8 or 9. Super reverb sounds good on like 6 or 7. I used to play a twin reverb on 9, and so did the other guy in my band.
And how's your hearing today?
What? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, it's actually not that bad.
Really?
Certain parts of it are not at all messed up.
Oh, I've got messed up ears,
Just
man.
certain parts.
I have ringing going on at various times of the day.
Well, I have like that cymbal. You're all standing right in front of the drummer. So
Yeah.
my left ear has like cymbal loss of hearing frequency. So I blame the drummers for that, and now I'm like, "Do you want to use brushes?"
Yes, please. If they're gonna offer up right away, I'm gonna say yes, please, every time. Be
I
like,
mean,
"You have
that's the
brushes?
volume I
That's
want.
great, thank you."
That's the volume I want. Yeah, totally. Okay, you got any other not so good gig stories or fantastic gig stories?
um, Fantastic gig stories. Okay,
I
I
gotta
here
say that the not so fantastic ones are much more fun always to remember.
I've played some decent gigs that I remember well fondly. Probably more than the worst ones, I would say. I mean, I remember I had one gig. This is a bad gig. One gig with me and my bass player. The drummer did not show up,
Oh yeah, tell me
and I
about it.
called him. I called him at his house from the bar, and I said, "Where are you? We're here at the gig." And he said, "F you, I'm not coming." I'm like, "What?" He literally told me to F off. And when I caught up with him a couple days ago, or a couple days later, I was just like, what was the deal?" He's just like, "I'm over it. I'm over you. I'm over
You
it."
could have said that before the
I'm like,
gig.
"What are you over? Me providing you with extra income? Exactly. Like, what are you having to do other than show up and play, man? You know the routine. I'm not having you practice extra." It was kind of ridiculous.
So where did you play when you're playing out? What like I really played in Texas. Texas is a large place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
But
I have friends in Dallas.
it's not but where did you play? Like what northwest, northeast sort of area, or
Oh, I played a lot in Arizona. Played a little bit in Chicago. Played a little bit in Indiana and
These are
Virginia.
all
Virginia, I
eligible
played a
places.
lot. Arizona and Virginia, I played the most,
Right.
professionally speaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And which like it, any differences in I guess that's a dumb question. Ignore that question. You
no,
know
they
why?
weren't. They were probably typical to what you experienced. Some of the places
Yeah.
they were either like hardcore bars, or some of them were like sports bars with TVs and whatever, like that kind of deal. You know, video game machines and whatever.
most of the gigs I played were in it's I guess kind of cliche type honky tonks is quite the cliche is true. Most honky tonks, most bars honky tonk. It's more they're in Texas. They're very much
They're
very
like
similar.
Gillies. They're like
Yeah,
Gillies
but
if from
smaller,
Urban Cowboy.
but smaller generally. But
Yeah,
they're like
Gillies is huge.
they're not huge. Generally, they're small and they're just but they're dusty, a lot of wood and pictures. It looked kind of
What,
like kind of like
what
behind me.
the place that I've heard the most of is Antone's.
Oh yeah, no, that's where I
Tell me
spent like the
about
'90s. Oh, it was amazing. Like
tell me about it.
I moved here, and I moved here because of Antone's, and like it was wonderful. It's so sad now because it's like a vintage store and something else, and the door is just bricked up. But anyway, like I got here, and the first night in town, I went there, and there was Double Trouble. Steve Ray Vaughan's band were backing up Alan Haynes, and I get that there's three people there Wednesday
Mhm.
night.
Yeah, that sounds
Me,
normal.
me, and two other people, and it was, I went there all the time as much as I could. I just, I played guitar all day long. Went there and also just played with other people. But it took a lot of getting into the scene here. It took me 2 years really before I was playing gigs around at all.
Yeah, it does. It does. It does take a while to break into a scene. It does not happen overnight the way that people think it does.
Oh heck no! But
And
I
now
mean,
it'd be even worse to try and do it.
oh,
Don't you
but
think?
I do, I
You'd
do.
be better. You'd be better off starting your own YouTube channel, to be
Yes,
honest with you.
absolutely. Oh yeah. But so Anten's, it was like in every single week there would not be one incredible act. There would be every night, every single night there would be an insanely amazing act. And 2 nights of the week, it would be like Albert King, Buddy Guy, you know, all the time.
Right. Heavy.
Albert
Yeah. Heavy
Collins.
hitters. Yeah.
Albert Collins was like the most. Like I saw Albert Collins probably 12 times there.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I remember one time being pushed. He always would have like people would push him out of the way. Or, like he would have his guy carry a cord for him and sort of push
Right.
people out of the way as he was heading out in the parking lot to play. And
Hmm.
one time I got shoved over and almost fell over by his cord guy. And I was like, that was great. I was pushed over by Albert Collins' cord guy.
That's funny.
Oh, yeah, it was wonderful. It was insane. It was so good. And after about 10 years, they moved it. Clifford Antone passed away. We went to a different location and everything sort of changed, And all those guys that I would go to see, they sort of, started,
Kicking off.
passing away.
Yeah.
And then it was just an end of an era, you
Right.
know. And I'm so grateful and amazed. I saw it. Oh, I saw such great bands. I mean, like, I,
You,
I can't get over like Maceo Parker. That's James Brown's band leader. So James Brown's whole band without James Brown because he's gone, right? But
yeah.
during the whole James Brown thing in a 75 seat club.
Wow.
I mean, within 15 minutes, every waitress is like, we're just dancing on the stage. People, it just pandemonium. The
Excellent.
most insanely good show
Did you
and
ever
that
get to
was
see
just
the?
every week.
Did you ever get to see the Archangels there?
Oh yeah,
I bet.
like oh yeah, of course. It
I
was
got to
insane.
check this out. I got to see them on my 21st birthday.
Ah, lovely. How old are you?
54.
I'm 56. As you know,
Congratulations.
I guess you know that.
Someone said on the stream tonight that I was Eric Clapton's little brother, and I'm like, dude, I'm too young to be his little brother. I'm not as old as you think I am.
I have, I'm not
But I'll
going to
take the
say,
compliment.
yeah, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I knew what he meant, but yeah, that's funny.
now, now, Anton's, it was insanely good.
Yeah, I bet.
It was, I just, the experiences I got from being there were just, I wish everybody could have those, but I don't know. I guess
Here's the
I'm,
thing. I get asked, like, if you had to do it over again, what would you do? And I've oftentimes said, as soon as I got done with college, I would have taken myself from Tucson and just gone and tried my luck in Austin for a while. And that's what I didn't do. And I wish I had done it. If I had it to do over again, that's what I would have done. Because playing here was fucking nowhere. Excuse me, sorry.
no, it was like, um, you know, Austin in the 90s, it was not an easy place to be a guitar
Oh,
player.
definitely not.
And
But
like, I was really lucky to be hanging with just like some, I would say looking back, like I was hanging with the absolute cream of the crop of guitar players. And I don't think I was quite the same level as them, but I sure hung out with them. And now I look at them and they are, famous guitar players. But I would see so many people would come to town and try, and I would see all these like just the clothes. It was impossible to break in.
yeah,
I
I
saw
bet.
it. I saw it sort of from both sides. And it was just like
Yeah,
you had to be able to, like, you had to move there and you had to stay there.
yeah,
You had to make it through
exactly.
6 months of just nobody's even going to remember you, talk to you. Then a
No,
year, 2 years. You know what I mean?
well, here's the thing, and like I'm sort of like a big proponent of this, but it'd be very difficult to do right now because after COVID, there's so many less bars to go and play music at. But back when we were doing our thing in the '90s, I always went to every open mic that I could go to. Whatever blues club had an open mic, I went to that place that night with my guitar and my amp and played. And I would make friends with the guys that ran the open mic nights because they are the ones that had the gig. If they had a gig, that means they knew people. They were the better
I
people. They were the better people that you'd want to play with.
Yeah, no,
And
I
if you
hear
could
you.
impress them, that was kind of your window of opportunity to get in. That's what I did. That's what worked for me. I mean, I got to tell you this, I wound up getting on stage at a friend's fraternity party. They had hired this local band to play their party, and it was like a rock trio, like the James Gang or something. They called themselves the Rowdies, and they were just pure rock and roll. Like they just kicked ass. And I got up on stage with them, and they loved it. And they're like, "Can you come out and play with us this Wednesday night at Chicago Bar?" And I was just like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Cool." And this is like I'd do the same thing just at open mic nights when I didn't know anybody and I didn't know them at the time that I played with them.
Yeah.
But you know, you, I you just can't worry about everything else. You just need to focus in on yourself and be like, um, no, I can do this. I'm going to go put my name down on the list. It's very difficult to do. If you have a friend, go with a friend.
Yeah, I would say that too. I hosted. Uh, I hosted like a jam for 10 years, like every Sunday. I guess
Yeah.
8 years or so. Every Sunday at a really kind of crappy club here in town.
Was that grueling after a while?
Yeah, yeah, it was, and it was funny because yeah, it was, but it was fun too because you had to just do everything. Or it was fun. Yeah, it was. I met everybody, and it was really fun. But it was like, you know,
It's
everybody goes home at about we didn't stop at 12 or anything. It was 9:30 to 2, right? But everybody left after they played. So you don't start until late. You're letting them play till late, and even then, they're gone, and the last 45 minutes is like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's very much a graveyard kind of thing.
yeah,
That last set is always tough.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah. No,
the first set is tough because you're waiting for people to hopefully you
arrive.
got a few bodies because they want to sign up and play in that next set.
So I do find it's funny. So back playing a lot in there was a place where all the bars were 6th Street. It was just wall to wall bars back then that all played live music, and pretty quickly you learned that if you took a break, everybody walked to the next bar. You know,
Right.
so
That
we
makes
never took a
sense.
break. And YouTube's lives are kind of like that too, right?
Well, they're always, I mean, that's the thing. Like when you become a content creator, you find out, okay, well, I guess I need to put up content like ongoing. Yeah, dude. if you want to make an impact and
But
be a
also
little
not get
successful at it, yeah.
and also not get burnt out though. I mean, because I do see people who get burnt out and stuff. People ask me, don't you get burnt out? I'm like, heck no. This
I
is exactly what I do. If I wasn't doing this, this is what I would be doing.
Right. But I think like the whole social media bubble like can make you a little crazy
Oh,
too.
totally, totally. Yeah, well,
Uh I mean,
you know,
you
I
know,
mean, it's not easy always, and we're right there, right? Like, if the country's having a bad day, there's it comes out at
it
us, kind of,
does. It does
and
because you get people that show up in your room and be like,
they're upset for
"Yeah,
some reason, and you're right there, and so it's kind of like, gosh, guys, I wish you felt a little bit better all the time, or it's not always easy, and that like for young creators like Brody Super Shredder, I'm you know especially for them, I'm like, well, this is hard, this is a lot,
if
I
yeah, I mean, it's we had somebody on the Pixie can tell you we had somebody on the stream tonight that said that they needed a heart replacement. That's like heavy duty to see that come on your. I mean, I have no idea. I'm assuming the guy is being truthful, but I'm just saying
see
like
that's the thing, you
you
never
don't
know
know.
nowadays, and it's just like saying that, having to say, well, you never know these days. That's so whack. It's just that's what I'm talking about. It puts you in these positions that you're just like, oh, I wasn't really expecting to ever say that or have to deal with this or see this or
Right. Right. But like for me, I just was just like, I'm sorry to hear that, you know. What are you gonna say? Like
yeah.
that's
Mhm.
the best thing you can say is give him some empathy. Give him some sympathy. I mean, like, you know,
I do.
you everybody's like we're all entertaining these strangers theoretically
Yeah.
until they become more regular in the rooms, and we get to know them a little bit better.
And we're both so lucky with our moderators and the people who we have watch us. I mean, we are the vast majority of people are just so lovely.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's Daniel Haynes. Hey, Daniel, how you doing? Um, I mean, there's Carlos. I mean,
Oh,
I know the
yes,
little
no, I
dog
can
Jimmy.
see them.
Yeah, I mean, so you just don't know. I mean, I certainly am not going to put up with troll nonsense, but for the most part, if it's a stranger and I don't know them, I've never seen them before. Yeah, I'm going to be sympathetic or empathetic to their
Yeah,
plea.
yeah, I hear you. No, and I do. I feel like, I don't think there's any happy trolls. It's like there's no happy, well-adjusted people with things to do in their life that stop doing that to try and say mean things on the internet.
Right.
So I feel more kind of like I feel for these. I know this, for the person who's in that situation. I feel bad for them, but I just
I
hide
just
them from my channel.
I just think that if the trolls are so like hell bent,
Yeah,
that's what they need to do. They need to go on to somebody's channel who's doing something positive
yeah.
and spit venom. Like,
Well,
okay,
it's
if you feel
they're
that bad about your life, maybe you
yeah,
need to go outside and touch some grass. Uh,
exactly. Just like I'm so
go
sorry.
to go to the public library, converse with another human being, do something, man.
I'm with you, Larry. We got called this quits. So I got to get ready to play guitar.
You do.
It's already 8:50. I've had a blast, man.
We should do it again.
Let's let's do it like next month.
Absolutely.
I love it. Let's do it a month from now, except for on the Monday, like we planned.
On a Monday, then. Okay. I'm good with it.
Larry, thank you so much. Everybody watching us, thank you.
Thank you.
We
Thank you
we
for
just
having me,
chatted
Dave.
to each other, and I guess I didn't use any. We didn't use any of your questions, and I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good.
If any of you guys haven't already subscribed to Larry's channel, please do, and vice
Thank you,
versa.
Dave.
But
Vice versa is right.
and please, I hang out at Larry's channel whenever I'm hanging out on live streams, which is normally a lot. But last week, I don't know what, I've been busy, but normally I hang out quite a lot.
You do. You do.
Yeah,
And I
and so
appreciate that.
no, I like listening to you in the background. I do other things. I'm like, so thank you, Larry,
You're welcome. Thank you, Dave.
and I will. You know, I'll be back on in 9 minutes, y'all, and Larry and I will chat next month.
Excellent.
See you later, brother.
You too. Until then, enjoy the town.
Thank you, Larry. Bye bye.
Thank you, Dave. Take care.